Hey y'all, I haven't cooked in a minute, so here we go. I got a zucchini squash and my cutting board, and I'm going to make this pasta sauce that I saw on somebody's page. I don't even remember. I seen a couple of them and I decided to look one up on Google, and I'm going to improvise because I don't have all of the ingredients that they had. And that's okay because you know what? We can do hard things. So I'm going to cut up the zucchini first and then I'm going to end up cutting it into quarters. But that's the skillet that I'm going to use. And here are two green onions that I got out of my fridge. Like I said, I'm using what I have. Um, I think that they called for shallots, and shallots are like onions, but they're kind of sharper. I remember I made a recipe with them once before, and they were delicious in what I made them in, but they were very strong smelling, and and they had like a bit of a strong taste to them. But anyway, these are two green onions. We're going to get those into the skillet. I should have cut up more because they look so pitiful in there by themselves. But that's okay because we're going to add what? Zucchini. So I quartered the zucchini, like I said, and put it in there. And I did not show you the oil that I put in there because I have an embarrassingly large container of cooking oil. This is some black pepper. And then I'm also going to put in a few other spices such as onion powder and garlic powder. And don't forget the salt. Everything needs to be salted. The salt is going to draw out some of the moisture in it and, kind of dry it out, but also give it some flavor. There's the onion powder there. And I sprinkled it until the ancestors told me to stop. My ancestors are not Italian or whatever this recipe is, but whatever. My ancestors, their ancestors, whatever. We were connected at some point. My garlic powder was not open. So, and I probably should have edited that out, but I didn't. So here we are. I'm going to put some garlic powder in there as well because I did not have fresh garlic like the recipe called for. It was to put like some fresh garlic in after you added the zucchini. And what you're going to do is roast or, saute that down until the zucchini is not only very soft, but also, slightly browned in a way. And it's going to have like a little bit of a crust on it or just to show some browning. And, yeah, it looks really good. But this is it at the very beginning stages with just the seasonings on it. And that's what it looks like after it's been in the skillet for a while. So that recipe that I found called for vegetable broth, but I didn't have any. But I've got a corner of chicken broth in there. And this is not vegetarian, clearly. I've got some linguine pasta and I put it in this skillet because I don't have a big enough pot to put it in. And I didn't want to break it. You know how sometimes we will break like spaghetti strands in order to make them fit in a pot. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to keep them long and strong. So they are in the pot and they're going to get all softened up and al dente, actually. They were not soft at all. They were quite good. Now, I have had this blender for like 30 years, real talk. Anyway, it is, one of those stick mixers, and I put it in there, and at first it was on like 4, and pieces of zucchini were flying everywhere, so I had to take it down to a 1 just to make sure that I wasn't, repainting my kitchen with zucchini pieces. So I did that directly into the skillet, and I wanted to put in some cheese. This is kind of like a cheese. It's like Boursin, and it is caramelized onion and herbs or something. Boursin cheese is so good, and it's so slept on. Yeah, I put that in with a pat of butter or so, and I'm going to let that blend down peacefully. And look at how beautiful and gorgeous this is. It just, And then they said to add some of the pasta water. I left my noodles in there because I didn't want to drain them because I did not want to have to put water aside because you have to have like some kind of really heat resistant thing to put it in. And I just wasn't in the mood because I was afraid that I was going to burn myself, which I probably would have. So because I'm tired, I put the pasta water in there, and now I'm going to transfer the pasta over into the other skillet with the sauce on it. And after I did that, I gave that a good mix in there to make sure that all of my noodles were covered in this creamy, delicious sauce. And then I wanted to plate it up. I tried to get fancy, and I ended up putting it all over the bowl there, as you can see. And then I was just like, you know what? Who cares? So let's get some more of that sauce in there, because if you had like a piece of like crusty bread or like garlic toast or something like that, you could kind of like, sop up that sauce with that. The sauce is thick, it's creamy, it's very cheesy and herby, and I did not think that it was going to be as good as it is, but it is absolutely delicious. See the steam on it? Ugh, it's so hot. But yeah, I'll let you experience it like I did in real time. This is good. Like for real, y'all. Maybe a little more cracked pepper. But that was good. Mm-hmm.